What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Today I've got a story time for y'all from my childhood about this weird kid that was following me at the park one day when I was younger. He kind of smelled like sauerkraut, so I thought it would be a funny story time. So before we get into it, be sure to press the like button or no joke, no scam. You're going to smell like sauerkraut. Yeah, that's right. You don't want that, so press the like button and let's go. So this story takes place when I was like 8, 9 years old, and there was this park near my house, and I was just old enough to like go there and hang out, because my parents trusted me to be able to walk down there, and obviously it was very exciting for me, because I wanted to go to the park a lot. So I was on my way to the park to do what little kids do, pretend to have the force, talk to myself, whatever kids do. Someone's like, oh, you talked to yourself when you were little? I mean, like, use my imagination. Anyways, to get to the playground, you have to, like, run across this field. And I'm running across this field, and I see this kid that looks a year or two older than me inspecting something with a stick. And naturally, being a curious kid, I went over to see what it was, expecting it to be, like, a lizard or something. I don't know, maybe like a lump of worms. The way he was inspecting this thing with a stick, I just assumed it was something interesting because he was looking at it with the curiosity of someone like watching Planet Earth for the very first time. They've never even heard of a polar bear before. And as I start getting closer, I'm confused because I start smelling sauerkraut. And my Oma, who I spent a ton of time with when I was younger, would always like make sauerkraut for dinner, so I was familiar with the smell as a food, but I had never smelt it on a person. So I started looking around, looking for it, and as I got closer, I realized it's coming off of him, which was weird. I didn't think people were supposed to smell like sauerkraut, but I just plugged my nose and got closer, and it got weirder because what he was inspecting with this stick and staring at was like dried white dog poop. And so I just say, dude, what are you doing? Like that, not angrily, just curious. And he turns, looks at me and says, why does it matter? Let me play with the dog poop. Keep in mind, I was just asking. It's not like I really cared. So I take his anger as a sign to leave. So I turn around and leave thinking, knock yourself out, man. I don't want to be involved anyways. I've got no desire to be poking dog poop with a stick, so I'm gonna leave. If you're that angry about it, you do you. But I'm turning around and walking away, and I feel this, like, nerve go off, almost like someone staring at me. Not literal nerve, but like, ugh, the heebie-jeebies. And I turn, and I see that he's coming at me with the stick that he was just poking the dog poop with, and he has the end that was poking the poop towards me. So I enact evasive maneuvers. I'm not trying to get touched with the poop stick. So I like jump out of the way and I grab the middle of the stick, not where the poop is touched, and I stick it into the ground. And so it goes into the dirt and he exclaims, my stick, as if I did something wrong. I'm just trying to defend myself here. You're trying to stab me with a poop stick like you're a booby trap in the Vietnam War. And I'm just trying to mind my business and go back to the slide after you told me to. I love how he acted offended, dude. If anything, I should have been offended. You were out here trying to make me patient zero, give me some weird disease no doctor's ever heard of before. I don't want to be that guy. Oh, yeah, poor Ryan, he died because that dude stabbed him with the poop stick and he got the poop disease. No thanks. So I don't know why this kid is trying to hit me with the stick or anything, and he says to let go. I say no, and I break the stick. I didn't really need to do that. I know some people will say it's mean, but if someone just tried to like stab you with a stick, you'd probably break it too, even if you think it was mean. I wouldn't have had to break the stick if he didn't try to stab me with his poop staff. You know, he's out here trying to be Gandalf the Brown, hit me with the you shall not pass gas ever again instead of not pass the corridor or whatever. If someone tries to hit you with their poop stick, I feel like you have the right to break it. Maybe I'm wrong for that. Someone in the comments let me know if I was justified to break the poop stick. But I break it, and he starts freaking out, saying that I'm going to pay for breaking that stick, whatever, da-da-da-da-da, I'm gonna be punished. I said da-da-da-da-da, everybody take their shot. Anyways, he starts going off about how I'm gonna rue the day that I broke this poop stick, so I say all right and start walking away. At this point, I think he's just ranting to himself. We'll just go our separate ways, and that'll be that. I don't know what you expect someone to do when you try to smack them with the poop stick. Of course, they're going to break it and be mad, so just let me walk away and it's fine. So I keep going across this grass field over to these big slides that were at this park, and as I'm going, I can still smell sauerkraut. And so I look around me, not expecting to see a ginormous bratwurst standing there deliciously, but expecting to see this kid following me. And when I turn around, that's exactly what I see. And he's trying to follow me slightly from a distance and hide, but he's trying to hide behind trees that are thinner than he is, so it's not working. So I see him and ask him, "Why are you following me?" And he jumps out angrily and says, "You broke my stick and I need to get you back for it. You have no idea how long I looked for a stick just like that and now it's broken." And I was really young, 8 or 9 years old, and I feel like around that time, you have a stick that's your club, you have a stick that's your gun, you just kind of are good at using your imagination. And I'll be honest, it was a lame stick. It wasn't even a cool stick that I broke. So I walk over to this tree, and on the ground is a stick that looks very similar. So I pick it up, and I look at the kid, and I say, "Just take this one." And he starts yelling that it's not the same one, it's not even close, he can't believe that I would even suggest that he use that one, da-da-da-da-da. I did it again, sorry guys. And so I look at him and say, "So it has to be that stick. The one that I broke is the only stick that you're going to take." And he looks at me and completely seriously says yes. So I look at the broken stick on the ground that I broke, that he had brought with him and laid out again, and I look back at him, and I look back at the stick, which is broken, and I look back at him and I say, "Well, that sucks, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I don't have the power to mend broken things. I'm a child. I can't unbreak a stick. I'm not a Jedi. I can't use my force powers to make it all mend together and everything be one with the force. That's not my forte, dude. I just have Lego Star Wars gameplay. I don't have the powers of the people in the background." And he gets all angry with that answer and says that he's going to follow me until I fix it. You can follow me until the cows come home. It's not going to make me a magician, but whatever. I guess this guy's just going to follow me now. I can't unbreak the stick. And I'm really confused if he knows it's impossible and he's just trying to be annoying, or if he's just dumb because he's older than me. And I'm like, well, if I know that this can't be fixed, there's no way that you can't know it can't be fixed. But I keep walking to the slides, and sure enough, he is following me to the slides. Not much I can do about it at this point. I just decide I'm going to ignore him as long as I can, ride the slides, and leave. If Sauerkraut Boy's going to follow me, my stay at the park got a lot less enjoyable, so I'll just dip. So I get over to these slides, and he's still following me, and there's a little bit of a line, so I wait in line, he's behind me in line, we get to the front of the line, and I'm getting ready to go down the slide, and he elbows me out of the way and cuts in front of me. And I'm gonna be honest, I just kinda let him go, cause at least that way I can lose him, so he slides down the slide, and I'm gonna let the kid behind me go, so that way, by the time he's coming back up to the slide, I'm going down, I'll leave, Sauerkraut Kid can't follow me. I think it's the perfect plan, so I let him go. And so the kid behind me steps up to the tube, sticks his head in to go down the slide and says, "Ew, what's that smell?" Obviously, it was a tube slide, so the smell of sauerkraut had been trapped, and I start laughing because I think it's funny. But instead of him going down the slide or whatever, I hear an angry roar from inside the slide, like a demon himself trying to rise up out of the ground. And it's at that moment when I realize somehow Sauerkraut Kid is in the slide and somehow he heard me. Because like a Fallout Deathclaw coming out of the sewer, here comes Sauerkraut Kid climbing up the slide, screaming about how he doesn't smell and we need to stop laughing. And I'm not saying it's great to make fun of if people smell, alright? In retrospect, was it a little mean? Sure. But if you smell like sauerkraut and you're in a tube slide and someone's not aware you smell like sauerkraut and they step up and go, "Ew, it smells," it's kind of funny. But it's also at the moment when he's coming up that I realize that he must have been waiting halfway down the slide to wait for me specifically, and I'm sure it wasn't so that way we could have friendship bracelets made. I don't know if he's gonna beat me up, I don't know if he's gonna jump me or what, but I realize that if he gets to this top of the slide and I'm still hanging out there, it might be a problem. So he's nearing the slide, he's coming back up, and me and all the other kids that were waiting to get on the slide start running because this dude seems nuts. At least that's why all the other kids start running. I'm running because I realize that he's probably coming for me. But think about it for all the other really, really little kids waiting in line. They just want to go down the slide. Someone goes down. Someone comes charging up from down the slide screaming and trying to grab someone. To be honest, I'm sure the really little kids probably never wanted to go on a slide again. They tell people this story. They're like, "One time I was at a slide and a monster came out of the slide and started attacking people." Whatever, he comes up, everyone's running away, scattering, and there's 4 large slides up here, so when he gets up and I hear his footsteps running behind me, I decide instead of trying to outrun him, I'm just gonna go down a different slide. So I run to the one that's the furthest away, get in it, and slide down. And I can hear his footsteps coming. I don't know exactly how far away. I would say maybe 20 feet behind, let's say. I wasn't an expert at judging distance, but I had a little bit of room in between him and me getting on the slide. And I'm going down the slide and I'm in this tube just thinking to myself, I gotta get away, I gotta get away. I hit the bottom, and instead of running, I turn around, jump on top of the tube slide, and start climbing back up it. Going for a little bit of a Sly Cooper move where I just fastly climb something, just try to get out of the way so the enemy will be confused. And I hear him get to the bottom of the slide and he starts running. And at that point, I get to the top and I hide up there. And I can see that he's running around at the bottom of the slides, but I'm not down there. So I just kind of hide up there. And after 5 minutes of hiding, I assumed he had either moved on or given up. So I was probably fine. So I come down, and instead of going home, which would have been the smarter decision, I think, well, he's probably gone, so I go over to the playground, which was what I wanted to do anyways. So I'm on the playground minding my business, and I had actually just gotten tall enough to do the monkey bars, so I'm doing the monkey bars, and I'm halfway through the monkey bars, setting world records, speed running this thing. I might have been new to it, but I was pretty quick. And as I'm in the middle of the monkey bars, I see some other kids looking over, kind of nervously, and I don't think anything of it. I think maybe it's their parents saying they gotta go or something. But then I can see one of them point, and then I start getting a little nervous. And after he points, I hear screaming, and I know what they were nervous about. Because I hear, "You broke my stick, you broke my stick, you broke my stick." And I look over and it's Sauerkraut. He hadn't left, bro. Somehow he had tracked me down again like a bloodhound. So I drop off the monkey bars and he's running at me, and I've probably only got 30 feet between me and him because I was on the monkey bars. So I start running. And I'm running for my life, dude. I don't know if Sauerkraut's gonna put me in some stew or something if he catches me. Who knows? And I'll give him a compliment. He was persistent. I feel like if I was in his shoes, I would have given up very quickly. I don't have the energy to stay mad at someone to keep chasing them or stick around and keep looking for them. I would have given up, but he did not give up. He was chasing me for quite a while. I wouldn't even have been chasing someone in the first place, I guess, but he was looking for me for a bit and he would not give up. But what I will say, what he had in persistence, he lacked in athleticism. He was older than me and a bit taller, so realistically, it should have been easy for him to run me down. If you got longer legs, you got the speed advantage. You should be able to get quick with it, run as fast as you can. But my little legs, dude, were just in better shape than his or something. I don't know, but I kept gaining ground on him. And because I was gaining ground on him and I could tell that he was getting tired, I started getting cocky. So I turn around and I kind of start taunting him a bit. Keep in mind, he's chasing me. And I'm like, "Come on, Slowpoke, come get me. What, you can't keep up?" And he starts yelling back, trying to debate with me, saying that I should just stop running, because if I stopped running, he could come get me. Yeah, I know, man. That's why I'm saying come catch up, Slowpoke. It's not, I'm gonna stop and make this a fair fight because you're bigger than me, dude. Why would I stop running? But he's trying to reason with me, being like, "Just stop running and let me catch up." I'm not gonna do that. I keep running and I get to the street on the corner where I can run across the crosswalk to get back to the neighborhood. And I'm sitting waiting at the crosswalk because it wasn't a busy street, but the time of night it was. It was just all the parents were getting home from work. Everybody was heading on home for dinner, so this road was busier than it usually is. And finally, some cars stopped and I start running across the street. And as I'm running across the street, I hear him way down the road on the other side telling me not to cross the street because that's not fair. Bro, you want to beat me up. It's not about fair at this point, you know? Call me confused, but I've always never understood that logic. "Oh, yeah, well, they were fighting and that wasn't fair." Well, they're fighting, man. It's not really about fair at that point. If you want to beat me up, I'm gonna cross the street if you don't want me to cross the street. I'm gonna do the opposite of what you want me to do, especially if I know I'm gonna lose the fight. The kid was a year or two older than me. What am I gonna do? Angrily attack him with the wrath of a small child? What? That's not gonna do anything. Anyways, I get home, my mom's like, how was the park? I say good, I'm not gonna say anything. If I told them what was going on, there's no way I'm gonna be allowed to go back to the park. So I just went to my room, played PlayStation, actually the original Lego Star Wars game. It didn't even have like all the episodes, it just had the original 3. It was old, but I played that and had myself a great night, and I had school the next day. And I get to school, and most of the kids in my neighborhood went to that school as well, and one of the kids who lives in my neighborhood walks up to me and says, hey man, I was at the park last night, and this guy was looking around for somebody, and it kind of sounded like you. Did you break somebody's stick last night? And I look at him confused, and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I was at the park last night, but how did you know about this? Because I didn't see you. He had gotten to the park after I had left and gone home, and apparently Sauerkraut Kid had started going up to everyone trying to figure out who I was, because he was so mad about that stick being broken that he was like gonna get revenge on me, dude. And I really don't understand why he was so angry. Literally, I broke the stick he was trying to poke me with after he was poking it with dog poop. If it meant so much to him, why was he trying to poke it with poke the stick? You know what I'm saying. Use that stick for dog poop if it's a good stick. Like, I don't know. If it was some sentimental object, it seems weird to be using it to hit dog poop. But he's out here trying to seek out intel like the CIA on a South American dictator to replace him back when they were doing that in the 80s. Just going way above and beyond, trying to figure out where I live, dude, my autobiography. He wants a manuscript of the entire shebang. But it gets even better, obviously, because some people live in the area. Some people knew, like, oh, that sounds like Ryan. So when some people said that they knew who I was, he started trying to hire them like a bounty hunter. And their job wasn't to hurt me or anything. It was to make me fix the stick that I had broken. I don't know what the logic there is, bro. You're gonna send like a bounty hunter over to my house, knock on the door. Hey, is Ryan there? We're bounty hunters. We're looking for him. My parents would have been like, he's 8. No. But even if the bounty hunters tracked me down, dude, Django Fett himself kicks in the door at 3 a.m., runs up to my room, screaming at me, you idiot, you broke this stick, throws it at me, now fix it. I would look at him and say, Django, Mr. Django, sir, first of all, huge fan of the armor. Mandalorian's like the only good Star Wars series Disney has done. Great armor, great story. But I don't have the ability to mend nature. I don't have magical powers. Because even if you put a bounty hunter on me and they manage to catch me, man, I'm elusive. I'm out there. Good luck. My dad probably would have been really mad if someone tried to kidnap me back in the day. It doesn't give me magical powers. I can't mend items from nature. I'm not a druid. I can't summon my ancestors from the earthly kingdoms to come fix this stick for me. I'm really out of luck, bro. But he was going above and beyond, and as for what he was going to pay them, it wasn't money, of course. No. It was going to be in respect. Has to be the worst way to try to get someone to do something for you. Oh, I'll pay you in respect. Yeah, guess what? Respect don't pay the bills, man. When I go to pick out a pack of Pokemon cards, I can't tell the cashier, oh, I'll pay in respect. Either way, the kid in my class who was letting me know about this just wanted me to be careful if I went back to the park because the kid who was looking for me seemed really mad. And I get it, he was just trying to be a good friend. And I did appreciate the heads up, but I was not about to stop going to the park. Probably dumb. Kids are dumb. I was dumb. So I probably should have been like, oh, maybe I should tell my mom. But in my head, I was like, I'm not going to tell my mom because she won't let me go to the park anymore. And B, I'm not going to stop going to the park because I've got to have somewhere to pretend to be a Jedi, all right? Like, there's certain things that have to happen. And my priorities when I was 8 years old was very much at, I'm going to go to the park regardless. It doesn't matter. Even if there's a forest fire there, I'm going to go. But I did think it was at least flattering that he wanted to hire a child bounty hunter on me, Coney 2012. 2012, Coney 2012 would have been proud of him. He would have been like, oh, you're trying to recruit a child army? That's exactly what I did. It was a little flattering, you know? I don't think anyone really took him up on the offer. As I said, he was trying to pay them with respect. But I did end up going back to the park, and I can say, funnily enough, that it was not my last run-in with Sauerkraut Kid. But it's gonna be a long story if I do it all in one video, and I don't even know if you guys are gonna like this. So if you want me to do the Sauerkraut Kids saga, I will do it. You just have to comment part 2 down below. If this video doesn't get 1,000 comments, I'm not gonna do it. So I don't know. Keep me posted. If it doesn't have 1,000 comments, comment. If it does have 1,000 comments, just still comment. That would be cool. But comment down below. That's right. I'm doing you guys dirty with a cliffhanger. Beyond that, I would really appreciate it if you guys would press the like button. Let me know what you thought in the video down below. In the comment section after you comment part 2, just hit it with the twofer. Beyond that, you should subscribe if you're new, turn on those notifications, and if you want to listen to an audio version of the story times, I do post that over on Spotify, link down below. Feel free to go check that out. But yeah, on that note, I think that's gonna do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.